Good morning. Good morning. It's your man T.Smith, also known as Trey. Welcome to the first episode of Turf Talk, the one and only Turf Talk. We're gonna be talking about sports. We're gonna be talking about more sports. Talk about a little, stuff going on in the world. Might have a couple entertainers here and there, but hey, it's definitely my pleasure to be doing a show with these two young men, Coach G. You know what I'm saying? The one and only Coach G, Coach Jackson, the one and only Coach Jackson. So you're gonna hear me say that often. We decided to put together a show, talking about sports in the community, sports through Los Angeles, sports through the nation, and give it to you like nobody else can. It's the worldwide Turf Talk right here. Go ahead, Coach G. What you got to say, man? Introduce yourself.
How you guys doing? This is Coach G. I'm with the OG Ducks 9U, aka the Duffelback Boys, California certified. Hey, getting out here, giving this knowledge, giving back. Karma's everything. It's all love, everybody. Can't stop, won't stop, refuse to stop.
Hey, that's Coach G at his finest. What's up, Coach Jackson? How you doing?
And I appreciate the introduction with the young, man. I wish I was still young.
Hey, that's all of us right there. That's
Hey,
all of us.
I appreciate it though. Hey, but yeah, this is Coach Jackson, man. Coach Jackson. I coach Corona Centennial defensive line. I'm also a trainer, and man, I'm interested to get to talking about these sports, man. Let's see where it go.
Hey, the one and only football factory out there in Corona Centennial. We all got a chance to run across each other at. First on the list, hey, sports world. I know, Coach G, you tied into the youth sports world. I used to know what's going on. Talk to us. What's going on in that sports world?
It's grind every time, but I think that the temperature is changing. Me, I'm old school. I'm about, you represent the name in the back of your jersey, all the swag that can go. I'm about development. And I think the temperature and the climate changing because now we're seeing more and more adults trying to live their dreams through the kids, and that's killing me.
Right.
I heard in Oakland, the coach that just got shot in the head in front of the kids. In LA, another coach that just got laid to rest over some youth stuff. It's like, it's crazy now. We're supposed to set the tone, and these kids are they're forgetting. Parents are forgetting about development, and they're thinking about, oh, let's go to this nation. And I'm blessed. I have a national title. I'm the number one team in the country. But that's just a bonus. It's supposed to be about development. I think we're losing the concept of what it takes to get to the top. Because these parents don't understand that these coaches, they're going to recruit you, and they're also recruiting the parents, and they're forgetting about that.
Yep.
Yeah, and in my opinion is from just sitting back. I've been to a couple of your practices and stuff. It seems like the youth football world is turning more into the high school football world. Do you see that too, Coach Jackson?
Yeah, it is. Definitely. It's starting early too, because you see these guys, they're recruiting early, and these Pop Warner teams. I mean, we used to have high school coaches come to the Pop Warner games just to recruit. So yeah, definitely, it's starting early. They I mean, let's look at what happened to modern day. The whole Pop Warner won a national championship. So
yeah, because I know you guys been around high school sports, and I'm gonna start the show. I'm gonna show y'all a little bit of where I've been. So it was a guy by the name of Nathan Tilford at Upland. You remember Nathan Tilford? Lane Kiffin went to go sign him, and he was in 8th grade out of Upland, and he was supposed to go to SC, and then he kind of for whatever reason he kind of tapped out, and then went to University of Arizona and played behind JJ. But like Coach G was talking about, and Coach Jackson touching on a little bit, like they signing kids out of the middle school now, right?
Right. They are. And I think I took my boys up there, and my parents. We did a tour up at Bosco. They said they started in the 5th grade, and I think I have to say this to the world, the platform out there. There are 181 schools in the LA County alone.
Yeah.
And there's 50 states, but in each one of these areas, there's dogs everywhere. So we did a Zoom meeting with Coach Helton at USC, my team, and he said we give away 25 scholarships a year. That's all they have. So what are you doing that's different? You have to get the well-rounded package. These parents don't understand that they could hurt these kids potentially because they're not just recruiting the kid, they're recruiting the parent too. So if you're a head case, why would I invest in you? One offer at USC is worth $1 million. Why would I take a chance on that? These parents got to understand that. It's all about alignment. Who they know to get you where it's at. On top of having good film.
Right.
But It's still alignment.
And that's something I could touch on, Coach Jackson, and watching you guys at Centennial at the football factory itself. Like, I couldn't, when I first got there, I never knew your kids was going to SC. Like, you didn't have that outgoing, this is my son or my son. When I met you guys, I didn't even know I knew who the kids were, your kids were. I didn't know who you guys were. But then you see some of these parents like, oh, that's my boy right there. He the best tackler, he the best. And you be like, oh, okay, well, I'm a football fan. We'll see for ourselves. And I know Coach Jackson, you get to see it. It's a high profile, situation up there. It's cameras rolling all the time. It's scouts up there all the time. You get to see it too. Have you seen the high school world change as well as far with the parents?
As far as performance with the kids, like you said, it's getting crazy now too, cool, because you not only are the parents claiming kids, they got other people from performance centers claiming the kids, and you know what I'm saying, it's getting out of hand. Like I said, that's why I was the type of hands-on guy where I put in the work with my son. So he from here. Nah, he from me. Everything I do, him. You know what I mean? So in regards to that, like you said, it's getting out of hand to a point where, a lot of these people taking the glory over the kids. Like, if I train a kid, you'll never hear me be like, oh, yes, my kid, I put my name on him. The kid doing what he's doing because he working hard. You know what I'm saying? So I'll get the shine.
As it's supposed to.
Right.
And Coach G, I know you want to touch on a little bit about the youth football. What's going on? How's your season looking? What you guys got coming up?
Okay. And before we touch now, I want to give Coach Jackson a big shout, because he's a very humble person. And we always say the humble don't stumble. His kid is one of the top kids. My son comes out and train with him. I take my little one, KB1, and train, and he go hard. But you'll never hear him bragging. Never. But in regards to my team, we're coming off a big time year from last year with the number one team, went to the national tournament, pitched up a 0. We're the first team in the history of that tournament to give a pitch up 0. So, it's kind of hard and I love it. I accept the challenge. A lot of teams are calling us out. So next month, August, we'll be going to Arizona, doing a tournament out there. Got 3 teams coming in to play us. And we gonna do what we do. Can't stop, won't stop, refuse to stop.
That's what I love.
We gonna represent California like we always do. California certified, baby. You know what it is. And we want all the smoke to all y'all teams out there. But it's all love. It's all love. We gonna make y'all better. Y'all gonna make us better. Win, lose, or draw. And I always say, a scoreboard cannot define a win or loss. If we got better, y'all got better. We all won. Point blank. Period.
Hey, that's what I love about coming out to your practices, because your boys, they know me and Coach Jackson. We had lunch, and they all know your phrases, man. It's funny that everybody know your phrase. I told you, man. Hey, in a year from now, that's why I said we got to start this show, man, because a year from now, everybody gonna be saying your phrases. Ain't nobody gonna know where it came from. But now you can at least send them the show. Say, hey, it's a date on that. It's a timestamp on that. I've been doing this.
Oh yeah.
Coach Jackson, talk a little bit about the high school world. I'm involved in the high school world a little bit. I know you guys, I tell everybody in the country, them top 5 games at Corona Centennial can't be played with. So I can't even say what kind of games are you looking forward to see, because you in them. You in the top 5. You in the first 5 that everybody want to see. I might have to ditch out on my son's game to come see a couple.
Well, hey man, we get on the first day of pass today, man. So in a couple of weeks we get the first game against Modern Day. So we set the bar high. You know what I mean? So it'll be like a championship game in the first game. You know what I mean? So like I said, we got a tough schedule ahead of us.
Them first 5 games, come on. Them first 5, because come on, I know my background. Long Beach Poly ain't no joke. I mean, the easy teams on there ain't no joke. The J. Sarah's ain't no joke. Come on, Sierra Canyon ain't no joke. I mean, come on. Hey, I'm looking forward to seeing them. I root for Centennial. I'm definitely a fan of Coach Logan. I think he's one of the greatest of all times. And I want to talk to you a little bit about that stage as far as the expectations. A lot of kids come to that school and they know they're going to play the best. They know they're going to see some of the best. And that's what attracts them, because even if you don't think Centennial got a championship team, as we say, you know, in the neighborhoods, the streets, of sports shows, we catch all fades. Centennial catch all fades. It don't matter who it is. What's it like being in that environment?
I know for me, when I first brought my son to the school, that's what excited me. I remember looking up and seeing the modern day, seeing at the time Bosco was just coming up, but the modern days, the Servites. I didn't have the money to go there, so I know the next public thing was public school, and I looked it up. It was Centennial. So, you know, everybody's like, oh, no, you don't want to go to Centennial. You got to compete there. They got these many players. You got this. I'm like, nah, that's what we want. Yeah. We want to be able to compete and go in there and win the job and do whatever it takes to excel. And I can honestly say it worked out. You know what I mean? So.
Oh, it worked out.
Right.
It definitely worked out.
Right.
Yep.
Now, GB, you come from that same era. I mean, like I talked to my son about. I said, "How you think GB? How you think little GB felt when he got to go against modern day?" And they said, "GB, we need 5 touchdowns." I mean, that's a lot of pressure coming from your boy.
Right. You know, you can't. One thing I would say, you can't run from competition.
No.
You know, everybody wants to eat, but few are willing to hunt. You know, and you know, I told my son, man, with separation comes elevation. You got to separate yourself. Some people, I want to be with my homies, or I want to be with all elite men. You got to go out there. Iron sharpens iron. You know, some people, you know, like they say that either you walk with the turkeys or fly like an eagle. Which one you want to do? You got to separate yourself.
You got that book. You got that book, man. You got that book down pat.
You got to separate yourself.
I got to get my game up, man.
You know what I'm saying? What they say, Coach Dennis, what they say, Smith, love by few, hated by many, but respected by all, baby. This is what we do, you know, that's real. But, you know, just being a part of a team that have elite guys, you know, iron sharpens iron, you know, like Coach Jackson would tell me, you know, I would call him and I would say, hey, what you think, you know, prior to us even coming over there. And he was like, man, hey, G is good. And having, you know, my son had to go against your Bookies. He had to go against your Darion Greens. He had to go against your Chris Steels. He had to go against our at USC, some of our top guys. And by him doing that, that's who made him who he is now. By going against dogs, you know? Right. He had to go against his whole era. He had to go against certified killers. And now look where he's at. He's battle tested, Teflon proof, baby. That's what it's all about.
And for the people that just tuning in, it's the first episode of Turf Talk, hanging out with me, T.Smith, also known as Trey, Coach G down there with the Dodger hat on, and Coach Jackson with the SC. That's his son in the background. Both their sons go to USC. Gary Bryant Jr., Drake Jackson. Both, you know, like I'm not fans of a lot of kids. I respect a lot of kids, but I'm fans of y'all kids because I've seen them come through what they came through. So we got some time. Hey, this is our show, so we ain't on no time limit. I want to talk a little bit about what do we expect out of SC? Not from the inside room, not from your kids coming home and telling you about, just from your eyes and what you guys seen. Like what? Because you know we all SC fans. What do you kind of see SC? You know, as far as this year.
Championship.
Okay, that's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. Go ahead, Coach G. Go ahead.
Me personally, I feel like, hey, it's West Coast. You know, we coming back. You know, I feel like it's coming together. From what I've seen, you know, I always talk to Coach Jackson. We kind of talk about it. We talk to some of the coaches, and I feel like they're investing in the future of USC. You see all the people coming in now. And, you know, some people say, well, why would you want your son there? Look at all these killers. Well, you know what? My son's a killer too. So they're all going to make it better. They're competing. If you don't compete, you don't eat. So I think that right now they're investing, and you can see the leadership and you can see the direction. Hey, we coming for it. You know what I'm saying? West Coast, we ain't went nowhere. And for all y'all that go hard, this our year, 100.
Yeah, and that's something I've seen, you know, from the outside looking in. I've seen some coaching moves I like. I've seen some kids coming from Texas. I like them going after, because you know, and I could be wrong, but You know, the West Coast known for speed and athleticism. I like them going after some of them Texas country biscuit gravy eating boys, you know, to compete with some of that SEC, you know, stuff like that for the line. And just I just like what I'm seeing. And I definitely like what I'm seeing as far as the coaching staff, you know, the diversity and the picking out of their own home backyard and the homegrown LA territory to give these LA kids a chance. I just love, and I think that's what makes SC football.
Right. It is, you know,
Yep.
going back to the
I
tradition.
definitely agree with it, man. Like I said, man, the talent level is picking up too because everybody see that that's getting on a whole another agenda. You know what I mean? So we're getting these coaches coming in, and they're putting in the work too to let these kids know that SC is on the rise.
Okay, we talk some SC football. We can't, you know, this week it's some big news, and I mean the Dodgers making extreme moves, but I want to talk about this Russell Westbrook to LA Lakers. Can we go to Vegas and put everything we got on the Lakers right now? Because it feels like that.
Wait, man. Hey, LA is making big moves. LA is making big moves. We coming back.
I mean,
you know?
that AD, James, and Russell Westbrook. I mean, I don't honestly. I think it's unfair. You know, like it's so unfair that you seen last night. We seen Kawhi opt out, and we seen Chris Paul opt out.
Right.
Chris Paul don't want to see. He know it's a wrap. You can't play at Arizona. I think he's gonna take the league minimum playing with the Lakers.
Now my question to you, Smith, is when you get so many superstars on one team,
we've seen it before.
Can they survive?
Hey, remember when Karl Malone and everybody was with the and we had the glove, Gary Payton on with the Lakers. You can't do too much, so that's the big issue. So everybody's saying, I watched a couple sports shows this morning. What the eye is on Westbrook. You have all the talent around you. Now you complained about not having talent. Now you have the talent with you. Are you gonna win the ring? So
yeah, you know, I think it's gonna come down to. I mean, how do
Well,
you think
LeBron
you
see
about
that New Jersey? You see that New Jersey though? They was loaded this year too.
Yeah.
Right.
It didn't work out. It don't always work out just because you got a stock team. Because as you guys know, as coaches, it has to be the camaraderie. It has to be the reps. And that's something, not to go back to, you know, talking about Corona Centennial. Hey, the first string quarterback hand off to the fourth string. It's the reps, the camaraderie. So,
of course.
So I don't know. I mean, is LeBron gonna put Westbrook in check? Or is Westbrook going? I mean, they're gonna have to figure something out.
That's a good question, you know, because if I'm a superstar, do I want to give you all my shine? You know what I mean? So that's kind of hard.
Because you know, this is the first time Westbrook played in LA since UCLA. He about to act the ass. He about to act like Ray J.
Right. He's been known for that.
He about to act like Ray J. When Ray J get in LA with the McLaren, you can't control Ray J. He about to be acting ass.
Man, that's real. You know, so it's gonna be real interesting to see how they come together. Are they gonna be able to put their individual differences? Because the individual,
he coming home, so he got something to prove though too. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
just like,
go ahead, Coach. My bad.
No, just like I told my son. We
lost Coach Jack.
Telling him he wanted to go to Arizona State. And I was like, man, I mean nothing to you. You know what I mean? But I said, when you play UCLA versus that means something to you because you know. I'm down for you. You know what I mean? So for him, man, this is on, you know what I'm saying? So he gonna have something to prove. He gonna have something to put on the line now, you know?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I think it just means something different in LA. I don't know what it is, but it just means something different out here.
Right. It's our land. But I mean, do you honestly think that LeBron is going to allow that? Because let's be real. Yeah. That's LeBron's team.
Hey, but Coach G, you pay attention. You seen LeBron sitting. He was so tired. He was sitting on that scoreboard. He couldn't even make it to his seat. Hey, them young whippersnappers was running them around.
Just like when Kobe was on the team, rest his soul, when everything came through Kobe. So guess what? this deal came through LeBron. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He has to do with the deal, big dog. It ain't just because Westbrook come to the team. It came through LeBron for sure.
Coach Jackson got the inside scoop. They had to they had to get LeBron on the phone first, and LeBron made the call like, "Hey, look, man, we're gonna let you play with us as long as you act right. You drink your act right."
Right, and I think LeBron knows that the clock is ticking, and I always say procrastination is the dream killer. We got to move now. We got to move now.
Hey, that's about 7 quotes right there from Coach G. Hey, we got a few minutes left, but it's something I want to throw at y'all. So during the last couple of weeks, and I know y'all personally, I'm just interested in hearing y'all answers. The last couple of weeks, a young lady by the name of Simone Biles said she wasn't able to perform on the Olympic platform due to the fact of some kind of illness or whatever, but it could all be categorized as mental health.
Right.
I have 2 answers for that. If it really is mental health, and I'm not saying it's not, then that's fine. But I also think that athletes and regular people like myself, if you're scared, it's all right to say you're scared. If you're not ready and it's too big of a moment, then I think it's all right for you to say that. And then people respect that. But this is what dreams are made out of. You know what I'm saying? When they think your sons in particular, they say he can't do it, and he can do it. And GB, I'm Coach G, I'm gonna start off with you. We seen it, not together, but we seen it at the same time at the UCLA game when they could kick the GB, little GB.
Right.
Now, GB won that game. I'm going to go ahead, whoever watching this, YouTube, GB won that game, and he saved a lot of people's jobs. I'm going to go ahead on the record and say that. Because
I'm concur.
Concur. Because UCLA won that game. And if GB don't bring that out to the 48, to the 50, whatever it was, the game is over.
Yeah.
He could have easily, and this ain't just because you're on the show, he could have, I just want to take that moment, he could have easily let it roll in the end zone and say, hey, I'm just a freshman. The same thing that I think a lot of people would have said.
Right.
So how do you feel about that moment? Not as far as your son, but like if he came to you and say, hey, Dad, it's the Rose Bowl, and I've been with you since you was Pop Warner. You've been with me at Centennial playing against the Mater Dei and the Boscos, but the Rose Bowl moment, I just can't do it. It's too much pressure. Do you have him? You can give me the Turf Talk version, or you can tell me what's going on.
Well, that's a touchy situation. Mental illness. Whatever it is, it's a hard situation. But when you train for something, I always say, football is 80% mental. It's only 20% physical, and I'm sure that carries over to other sports. So when you're out there training, because the word I heard that she was overtrained.
Yeah.
But you don't train physically, you got to train mentally too. You know what they say, everybody wants to be the lion until it's time to do what lions do. So if you a lion is not the biggest, not the fastest, and not the smartest, but he's the king of the jungle.
Yeah.
He's the king of the jungle because of his mentality. So I think that it's all about the training. If it was my son, of course I would tell him, we would work on his mental aspect and the physical aspect. But I'm a firm believer, to blow up, you got to show up. Get your butt up, make it happen. Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, to blow up, you got to show up. Coach Jackson, I definitely don't want to leave this subject without getting your perspective of it. I know you train a lot of kids in the community, and you get them ready for big moments. But I think that, and I hear you talk. Sometimes you're training. A lot of people think training is just with the ladder and the weights. No, I hear you talking to them the whole time too. That's part of the training. So can you elaborate a little bit, like your opinion on the whole perspective?
Well, I'm gonna say this. I've been watching that Kevin Hart and Snoop. I'm gonna keep it real.
Shout out to him.
He's shell shocked, big dog.
He's shell shocked, right?
I mean, the stage was probably too big for it. I mean, that's what I feel. I can't see, like, if you mentally training all this time and now you're gonna just say, oh, mental health is. I mean, I don't know. Stuff could be going on. COVID's changing a lot though. So I'm way, you know what I'm saying? But I know for me, I can remember this like yesterday. My son, his first start was against IMG in high school. And man, these dudes was 6'8", you know what I mean? Lineman. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, man, I don't know if he's ready, you know what I'm saying?
And he's a big boy.
Yeah, and I remember him getting the first half, he was getting tossed around. So at halftime, I was like, son, I don't think you're ready. And I said, you think you're ready? He's like, nah. I mean, I said, I think I'm gonna tell the coach to just let you go another day. And my son, he was like, nah, Dad, nah, I'm gonna do better next half. He's like, we've been training hard and this and that, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, I'm gonna do better. And the next half, man, he was a whole nother kid, you know what I mean? So mentally, he just had to prepare himself, you know what I mean? First, but we had a little talk, and I'm like, and I told him, man, you know, I mean, I used to use psychology against him sometime too, just be like, man, you're not ready, bro. You know what I mean? I pump him up, but he was like, nah, I'm ready. You know what I mean? And then the next half, it was a whole nother kid, you know what I mean? And he shined. That's what I want to say. That's kind of put him on the map, you know, going against IMG, getting 2 sacks. And
yeah, that's big against IMG. For people who don't know, IMG is a 5th and 6th year option. 5th and 6th year option kids, man. Them is grown men over there. That's a JC.
20-year-old kids.
Yeah, 20-year-old kids. But hey, go ahead, Coach G. We got a couple minutes.
You know, I know that I don't, just to tap in, this mental wellness is very important.
Yeah.
And I think we as coaches and parents, we need to stop putting all our eggs in the baskets in regards to just physical, and we need to focus on these kids' mental too.
Yes, sir.
We don't know what this young lady's going through. We don't know. But I still say, as far as the athlete, let's stop just thinking physical and build them up mentally too. And then you'll be ready for the task at hand.
Yes, so I think that's a very important. So when I asked you the subject, like I said, I don't think it's nothing wrong with, you know, because, you know, I work with kids as well. And there's some kids that they put in the category as mental health. And then I'll be like, sometimes I go to the psychologist like, ma'am, this is not mental health. They just bad. So we gotta separate those. We can't just say the bad kids is mental health kids, or if you get, or like, you know, if I'm a grown man and I've been talking that talk, I can't say, oh, well, you know, son, I didn't do it because of mental health. No. I didn't do it, son, because I was scared. I got nervous. So I think in American culture, we got to be able to say, hey, it's nothing, especially in the minority community, we got to be able to say, man, I was just nervous, man. So it happens. So hopefully everything works out for her. But I did see, as of this morning, she will be performing in some kind of event either today. So that tells me, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. She got that mental back. She got around the right people. And and this is for you guys right here. I want to leave with, I think a lot of athletes, after they've been developed by certain coaches, get new coaches and feed their head with different situations when they need to come on back home to the coaches that prepare them mentally. You know what I'm saying? Like, you coaches are more important than the coaches that they go pay all the buku money for, that tell them whatever they want to hear. You need somebody telling you no. You need somebody saying, let's take it back to the ground level. So I think it's important for coaches like you. But hey, it's our first episode of Turf Talk. We covered a lot. You know what I'm saying? It was my pleasure. I can't wait to, I want to hear, I heard Coach Jackson talk about almost going to Arizona State. I'm going to say that for the next episode. Coach G, I know you was, hey, I know, hey, I'm going to start picking y'all brains, but it was definitely a pleasure. We'll sign out and see y'all next week.
Hey, can I leave with this?
Yeah, go ahead.
A dream not pursued is just a wish. Get off the fence, put your feet on the ground, and make it happen, baby.
Hey, we either gonna get this man a calendar or a quote book. We got you. Hey, that's Coach G, the one and only.
Coach myself.
Coach Jackson. You know, Coach Jackson just gonna make them want to quit with the what's them, the resistant bands, man. So we'll see y'all next week. Thank you for checking out Turf Talk. Leave a comment below. Let us know what you think. Hey, we're here for the good and bad. We can take it like a man. We'll see y'all next time.
All right,
boss. Yeah.